Hi, I'm Rob Guthins, a Service Master Advanced Cleaning and Restoration in Mobile, Alabama. I want to talk to you just a little bit about mold remediation and the process involved and what you might be dealing with if you encounter mold in your home or business. So we get a call, somebody calls us up and says, I've got mold, or I think I did, in my home or business. And we say, we do some questions and we ask them, well, first of all, what was the source of water intrusion? What happened here? And well, how did I know there was a water intrusion? Because mold cannot grow without water. It needs two things to grow. It needs a food source, which is drywall, wood. It'll even grow on metal. And it needs water. We can't control what our homes and businesses and our structures are built out of, but we can control the water element. So the first thing we want to know is have you controlled the water intrusion or the water source? If it's a leaky air conditioner, leaking roof, some sort of water intrusion that went unmitigated. Once you fix that, we'll come out and take a look. Or if you tell me that it's so bad you can see it, it's everywhere, we may suggest and go straight to item number 2, which is calling an IH. An IH is an industrial hygienist. The industrial hygienist comes out and does air sampling. And no matter what anybody tells you, the true measure of the danger of mold is the air quality. That is what you're breathing. And if you see an area, and our standard is if it's an area that's visible, that's bigger than 10 square feet. Now that's about 3.3 feet diagonal, about the size of a TV screen. You see an area that's black or it has mold, the theory is that that's throwing off enough spores that you can't see. The spores, the pollen, if you will, that are thrown off that are a danger to your health, okay? So if we see an area that's bigger than 10 square feet that's visible, then for sure we're going to want to do testing. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have mold because you don't see it. When we come out, a lot of times we'll see mold that is maybe not visible to you, or we'll smell it, or we'll look for cues. We'll bring in an infrared camera and moisture meters, and we may see things that you can't see that you may think an ordinary household does. Regardless, say you suspect you have mold, either visible or not visible. You can smell it. There are certain cues. Call it an IH. They bring a machine in and they do air sampling, and they are not connected to us. Any company that tells you that they do sampling and they do the cleanup, that's a conflict of interest. They're always going to find it, right? And then they're going to do the job, the remediation, and then come back and clear themselves, do the testing. I don't think so. We ask you to call in a separate IH to do the testing. That testing that this person does is sent off to a lab, and so you've got a third disinterested party that says, hey, you've got this type of mold, and the report comes back and it's segmented. I can show you there are copies of these reports on our website, and it shows you what type of mold you have and the spore count and which ones are dangerous to you, which ones are excessive spore counts, and they also do a sampling outside. So now we've got a printout, and then we ask the IH to do a protocol. And a protocol is nothing but a fancy set of instructions to clean it up. That's where we come in. So there's testing done, then we come in and do the remediation. And we do our thing, and I'll kind of go into that a little bit, and then we do post-testing, which is clearance, which says that we did our job. A third party, an IH, a disinterested party who sends off the lab results to another disinterested party, says that we did our job. So it's cleared, now it's healthy to come back in and occupy that building, that home, or business. Okay, so back to our part. We would come in, and the way we do this, it might require that the drywall is removed in certain places. It might even require that the drywall is where it's eaten into it, or it's eaten past the drywall, and some of the studs have to be sanded. Typical process would be for, first of all, a HEPA vac, which it's reverse of what you would think, but that gets all the loose spores. Then you wipe, then you HEPA vac, then you wipe, and you HEPA vac. In extreme cases, a 5-step process. If you include sanding, that would be a 6-step process, and if you include fogging afterward, a 7-step process. Our people will be suited in some cases they'll wear the little masks that we call N95s. We do our thing. It might take several days. The entire time there may be containment built. There may be air scrubbers. Well, in all likelihood, be air scrubbers running, which clean the air. And at that point, once we get done, air scrubbers will still be running. The containment will be built. The IH comes back in and does the clearance testing. That's sent off to the lab. The reports come back, and it will show. And in the jobs that we do, the houses and the buildings are cleaner than the outside. There's less mold inside than there is outside in naturally occurring air. And the building, our home, is cleaner than it ever was, including the day that it was put into service, because I promise you, there's no dust, there's no mold, there's not even any sheetrock dust left. So that's kind of how we do it. And is it pricey? It can be, because in some extreme cases we're having to put people in complete masks or breathing apparatus and pay them double time, and they're working long hours in hot environments. We also will clean the ductwork. So that's kind of the overview of what goes on in a mold remediation project. We can walk you through it. We can come out, take a quick look if you'd like us to. We can recommend an IH and get you help. But we're not going to drive a job team. There are too many of these, and you don't want to deal, again, you do not want to deal with a contractor who will come to you and do the testing, do the work, and do the clearance testing. It's absolute conflict of interest. Anyway, if we can help you, give us a call. It's 251-653-9333, Service Master Advanced Cleaning and Restoration. Probably do more of this in the Mobile, Gulf Coast area than anybody. And you can go on our website. It's realmasterdisaster.com. That's realmasterdisaster.com. And we have done a number of videos showing what we do, how we do it, and we've also got a bunch of articles that show you the different types of mold, etc. And we'll find those helpful, or if you call us, I'll email you one of those articles. Thank you for checking in with us.